Welcome back, everybody. Rock Talk episode number 23. I'm really excited to have assistant coach for the track and field team, both indoor and outdoor, Carter Kessinger, with me today. Carter, how you feeling?
I feel great. Thank you for having me on the podcast. It's been I watch every episode, and so to finally be on it as a fan is exciting. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's like a dream come true
it
for
really
you.
is.
I know you've dreamt about this for weeks, months on end.
Yes.
Even.
Since the moment I stepped foot on campus. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's your turn to be in the spotlight, to have the mic in front of your face, so you can really do whatever you want with it. I mean, watched. I mean, people go crazy with mics in front of their faces.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched any of the Seahawks parade. Ernest Jones.
Oh, I did.
Going crazy.
I did.
Let's not do all that.
Okay,
we could get close to it, close to 11, but let's try to keep it at 10 or under here on this thing.
Sounds good.
First off, Carter, let's talk a little bit about you. I had the chance to talk to Coach Niles in the fall before the cross-country season. That's really where he makes his bread. That's his forte. He's a long-distance dude. This is where you really earn your keep, the track and field side of it. You ran track at Greenville for 5 years. You had a really successful collegiate career, 2 times SLIAC All-Conference, 10-time conference champions, both indoor and outdoor. So just tell me a little bit about your journey up through the track and field ranks.
Sure, yeah. So I'm your classic small-town kid. I grew up in Greenville. My dad works for the university. My mom worked there. I think both my parents went there, my grandparents. So I'm just a Greenville guy.
Through and through.
Through and through, yeah. My brother went there. My sister currently goes there. And so
just bleed orange.
Bleed orange and black. Yeah, and so that was kind of always the thing, go to Greenville, run track. And, yeah, I was lucky enough. You know, the one thing COVID did give some of us who were affected by it is an extra year eligibility. And so instead of the traditional 4, I was able to run for 5, which I really enjoyed. And then, being a part of the Greenville track program, I mean, they're still winning conference championships. Like, it was definitely an honor to be a part of it and see such a structured and well-run program. Coach Patton was my head coach's name. And, he does a great job over there. And, I like to think I was a pretty good athlete, you know, in my own right. And, I'm just happy to now be on the other side of it. I always kind of knew that coaching was kind of something I wanted to do. I talked to Coach Patton about it and others, and they said the best way to get into it is being a GA.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of what led me here. Luckily, it's not too far away from home. I know it's not, Oregon distance away. But
Or weather.
Definitely not. But Greenville is definitely a great place. I still have a lot of friends there, a lot of former teammates who are still there. It was just, Greenville's kind of what made me, and it'll always be home. But I'm happy to be here at Rockford now, just experiencing life outside of Greenville because, spent my entire life there.
I mean, there is life outside Greenville. You might not think so.
No.
A lot of people living there right now might not think that there's anything else outside of it, but I'm here to tell you that there is.
Yeah.
And you're really in a good spot. Just, I mean, it's, what is it, a 3.5, 4-hour drive down
it's like
there?
right under 4. Yeah.
So it's close enough that if you wanted to go home, it would be really easy for you to, but also far enough that you could feel like you're living your own independent life up here in the jewel of northern Illinois,
that's
the
what they
great
say.
city of Rockford.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about just some of the lessons or advice that you took from Greenville that you remember, that you will always remember, and that you might implement going forward.
Yeah, there were a lot of lessons getting to the nitty-gritty of coaching that I learned from Greenville because I was lucky enough. I think most of my coaches, all but one I can think of, were former All-Americans when it came to track, and they coached a whole bunch of national champions and All-Americans over there at Greenville, and so I was lucky enough to learn from them. And some of the main things that I learned, first just on the nuts and bolts of track, are to be pretty conservative when it comes to injuries. Track is a sport where you train your entire life, your entire season really, to peak for conference, peak for nationals. And so we're kind of training for 9 months for just a 2-week window of performance. And so when it comes to injuries, soft tissue stuff like that, just be on the conservative side. And then other than that, just kind of the way to treat your athletes, just treat them as, this isn't high school sports, this isn't junior high sports. Like, these are college athletes, these are adults. I was in their shoes, less than a year ago. And so to kind of treat them as adults and kind of let them, me and Coach Niles, I think, do a great job of listening to our athletes. And, hey, if you can't go today, that's what you can't go today. Hey, if you can go today, let's go today. Let's get good work in. And so, just letting the athlete not coach themselves, but let them have a say in kind of their career, because at the end of the day, it is their career. And I just think that's a good way to go about it. Give them ownership, give them autonomy over kind of what they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic advice and a fantastic way to go about it. I mean, track, it's a different animal. It's not like these other sports where there's not as much movement, where you can play through little bumps and bruises like track. If you got a hamstring issue, you really got to shut it down because it could hurt you for the long run.
Yeah.
You could hurt it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you went with an injury yourself. Talk a little bit about that.
I did. So, I was a 400 hurdler, which, was a little bit of distance, a little bit of sprints, and so
everybody says that's really, if you really don't like yourself, run that event.
I would agree with that. I'll be a little biased and say I'd say it's the hardest physically event in track and field. Pole vault might be the hardest technically to learn, and so there's some other events that are pretty hard. But there's nothing like finishing a 400 hurdle race, and especially running it pretty fast, which I like to think that I did a little bit. But last year around December, my foot started bugging me, and I knew what stress fractures were, and that was a thought in the back of my mind. But I never really thought hey, Carter, just take some time off of it, stop running, kind of take some time to recover. And I probably didn't do the best job of that I could have. Ended up getting an MRI at the end of December, and got told I had a stress fracture in my foot, which isn't, as a track athlete, especially a hurdler who's on their feet a lot, having a stress fracture in your foot isn't exactly the easiest
it's not
injury
ideal.
to do. No, not ideal. And so my options were, I had 3 options: either get surgery on it and my track career was over, be in a boot/cast for I think it was 12 weeks was the prognosis, and track career is pretty much over, or option 3, which is the one that I took, which my mom probably won't like, is just don't go back to the doctor and try to run on it. And that's kind of the option that I took, and I never went back to the doctor. And then I just I was in a boot for 4 weeks, and then after that I was like, hey, I came back for my 5th year for track, so let's do it. Let's see how long I can last. And I ended up having an okay season, not as well as I obviously would have liked, but we made it. And I try to say now that it wasn't the season that I wanted, but it was the season I needed, because I learned a lot about, getting to spend some time on the bench. I learned a lot about coaching and stuff that I can bring into my career now. So I think, man, I'm not the best coach in the world, but I think without that season that I went through, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Yeah, provide a lot of room for improvement. I mean, it allowed you to kind of slow it down, stop running so much, and just kind of take it in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's got to be so hard. Somebody who's so used to moving around at a fast speed for so long in your life, to actually have to physically say, no, I can't do this. I really have to stop running.
Yeah.
And kind of make myself better in that way. It's kind of funny. Just kind of the ins and outs of it. Let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about you here at Rockford. Tell me a little bit what it's like working with Coach Niles. You guys work really close together. Your office, your quote unquote office. You got yourself a desk. He's got an office. It's like 6 feet apart. Just tell me what it's been like working with him and getting to know him over these last 7-ish months.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, he's everything I could ask for when it comes for a boss and a head coach. I mean, he's done a great job, and I've really appreciated. He's kind of let me have some kind of autonomy and a lot of say in the track side of things, running practices, weight room, scheduling practice and stuff like that. I've kind of taken the big role as far as that's concerned, which I've really enjoyed. But working with him, like you said, we work so closely together physically and just in the sense of the words. But we can just bounce ideas off of each other. He can shout, "Hey Carter, what do you think of this? Hey Coach Niles, what do you think of this?" And we have a pretty good relationship, and I think it got even stronger when we went down to Dallas this December for the coaching convention, where we got to take a couple certification classes and really get to live and breathe track and field only for that week that we were down there, which I think helped our relationship a lot. And I'm excited to see where this track season takes us, because I think we can do some great things together. I'm really excited.
You beat me to it. I was going to bring up that convention that you went to down in the great city of Dallas, Texas. That was right before Christmas, kind of right before the break. First off, before we really get into the minutia of that, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. How many Nico Harrison fans did you run into while you were down there in Dallas?
Definitely less than there probably would have been a year ago. I can't say that I met one specifically. I would hear some murmurings about Nico, and so definitely not as many as there were a year ago. I remember when that happened. That was
Was he fired before that, or was it after? Because it was right around the same time almost.
I can't remember. I want to say it was right before, because I thought we had talked about it one day at lunch or something. And so I could be wrong.
Oh, it was in November. So yes, it was well before. So probably Probably more people rejoicing
Yeah.
over the firing.
It felt like there was a weight lifted off the city almost.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is a basketball fan in me, and I just wanted to ask one more question.
Go for
Just last one about Mavericks, not to hijack
Okay.
this thing, but
Mhm.
but were there more Luka jerseys or Cooper Flag jerseys down there that you witnessed?
I witnessed more Cooper Flag jerseys. I
Okay,
didn't. There
interesting.
I saw a couple Luka Lakers jerseys, which was interesting. I think a couple Mavericks fans maybe jumped ship halfway to
Yeah.
the Lakers. Not that I mean they're doing amazing either, but yeah, I saw a couple Luka Lakers jerseys, but it was definitely more Cooper Flag jerseys. I think just the excitement of what he could be, maybe.
Yes. He's been fantastic.
he
I
has
mean,
been.
just awesome for them. They got their hearts ripped out and they got a new one put in.
They did.
They're gonna be just fine down there. But
Mhm.
now let's go back to the track side of it. Tell me
Alright.
a little bit about that event, what it was like getting to meet a bunch of people and just the certification that you went
Yeah.
through.
So it was. First, I'll just speak to what it was like. I mean, to just really, we were in like a convention center, like a resort type thing, and it was almost like its own bubble. And so just to have, I don't know, 1,500 just college track and field coaches in the same place, like
Yeah.
to really live and breathe track and field was a really cool thing. And then, I mean, the certification class, while it was long and it was a lot, it was, I was pinching myself because I was getting taught by these professional track coaches, these Division I track coaches, Olympic track coaches, world record track coaches, like
Yeah. People who've had the success at the
Yeah,
highest level.
the best, which is what I hope to be one day. And so it was really cool. I mean, the certification class started Saturday. It was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and they were 12-hour days. It was 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and so they were long days. We get an hour break for lunch.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of track and field, which I love. And the one I took specifically, the sprints, hurdles, and relays one, yeah, it was really interesting. And like I said, I got one of the instructors was the Harvard head coach, another one was the University of Louisiana head coach, and then a private track coach, a professional track coach who coaches, I think, Gabby Thomas, who was
Okay, so
legit,
another
yeah.
somebody who's had a lot of success.
yeah. And so it was, like I said, it was kind of a pinch me moment. And then my classmates, they were all Division I coaches. I think I was maybe one of two people in the class who were like that was our first year of coaching. Like, everyone else
Yeah.
had been doing it for a while. I think the University of Nevada head coach was there. The University of South Carolina assistant coach was there. Like there were some pretty big names, people I recognized, and it was kind of awe-inspiring to take the same class as them, and be like, hey, I'm learning the same stuff as them. Like I can do this,
Yeah.
just like they can. And so it was pretty cool. Yeah, I
mean,
enjoyed it.
12-ish hour days. I mean, you really got to live and breathe
Yeah.
track and field, cross country. Like, was there anybody that you noticed that just wasn't having it? That
Not that I noticed. I tried not to. We did a pretty good job, and the instructors did a pretty good job being like, hey guys, we know this is a lot. Like,
yeah.
take it one piece at a time. Take it one piece at a time. They were open for questions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anybody in particular that I noticed that I thought
nobody that
might-
fell off the
no,
wagon
not that I
throughout
could
the
see.
week. Yeah.
There was one guy, I think he had to get, like, he had a family emergency at home, and so he had to leave, and so he didn't finish the
Right.
course.
Completely
but,
understandable.
but yeah, but other than that, I don't think there was anybody that left. I think we had like 21 people in the class, and I think 20 of them finished. The one
Right.
being that guy who unfortunately had to leave. But yeah, no, it was just an awesome experience.
Just a really great environment. Everybody there is living and breathing this. They wanted to get as
100%.
much out of it as they could. Is there any connections that you made down there? Because I know there was
Yeah.
an event where you got to meet a bunch of people.
Yeah. There were a couple. So a couple of my former Greenville coaches who are now coaching at other schools,
Yeah.
I got to see them, reconnect with them. That was awesome. And then just connections I made in the class. As a class, we all wrote our emails and phone numbers down, and we have a group chat that we text in, not a lot, but
Yeah.
every once in a while. And so that's pretty cool. And then one of my best friends from Greenville, actually, his brother is a head coach up at Warner Pacific. I don't know. That's
Yes,
around
up
your
in,
area.
Up in Portland, yeah.
And yeah, he is an NAIA school, and he's a family friend, and so I've known him forever. And so he was taking me around, introducing me to the NAIA coaches, which is a circle that I hadn't gotten to
Had a
spend
lot
some
of
time in. Yeah.
familiarity, yeah.
And so that was cool. And yeah, it was definitely like that's what everyone kept telling me. Hey, Carter, this is kind of where you find your next job. This is where you get your next job, is here at this convention. And it was, yeah, like it was awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah, so what's the goal for you going down the road? Where do you want, like, where's the mountaintop for you? What's the dream? Where do you want to end up?
I'd say the head coach of a program at some point. Now what level that program is doesn't really matter to me. Division
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, NAIA. Like as long as I'm a head coach, as long as I get to do what I love, which is track and field. That's kind of the end goal. The short term goal is I'm here at Rockford for another another year after this, and then find an assistant coaching job somewhere. Get to continue to get my feet wet in the coaching world for a little while, and then eventually, find a head job somewhere, no matter where that may be. I really have no location preference, and so this is what I want to do. Track coaching is what I want to do. It's what I love. Like our track practices now are my favorite time of the day. Like I look forward to them. Like it's about to hit. It is 1:00 right now, and only an hour until I go over there and set up. And so, like this is definitely what I want to do.
Great. You're on the road to success right now.
Yeah.
It feels gotta feel great to be on the path that you want to be on. Let's talk a little bit about practices. I know recently you guys moved to some of the days of the week you go to individual practices where you get one-on-one time with your athletes.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that more than a full-on team practice?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about like what a day looks like for you.
I would say the way we're doing it now, obviously I'm going to say is the preferred way, and it's the way I like most to do it. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays are our days where we're all together.
Yeah.
And we all meet in the Oxygen at 3, and we do our workout together. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays, Fridays when I'm meeting with them individually throughout the day. And I think that's kind of the perfect balance because I can get that individual time with them. Hey, how are you really feeling? How did you feel about this performance at the meet? How did you feel about this workout we did? Like, what can I be doing better for you specifically to get you better? But then we also have the time for the team when they all come together and they all practice together. And a typical day like today is Thursday, so it's a team day. Like I said, I'll go over there at 2, start setting up, and then tomorrow Friday I'll be up at 7:30 for my first practice, and I'll be practicing with them periodically throughout the day until about 1:30. That's normally when our last practice is, and then after that I'm done with practices for the day. I go down to the office, get some recruiting done, and then that's kind of my day. They go by fast when you're doing stuff and you have practices throughout the day. But like I said, practice is my favorite time of the day. And so really, I just get my favorite time of the day 5 times a day.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, and so I'll take it.
Yeah, you're right. The days do fly by, especially when you're busy and you're busy doing something that you love doing. They do it. It's
100%.
like a blink.
100%.
You're absolutely right. Let's talk a little bit about we're in the midst of this indoor season. Like we've had a couple of invites and challenges that we've been through already. Had the Moco Mercer Challenge. This was before the turn of the new year over in Dubuque, Iowa, and then last week in the Tad Metzger invite up at Carthage. There was a huge break in between those two competitions. Tell me what it's like dealing with a huge gap into competition like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. It's not something that I've had to go through in my competing career personally, and so it definitely was a challenge, like getting the athletes to stay kind of locked in, eyes on the prize. Hey, I know we don't have a meet this week, but next week we got one. But it's just kind of like just taking it a day at a time. Like, hey, here's what we're going to do today to get better for the meet. I would say, like, a month from now, you a month from now is going to thank yourself that you did this. And, once we get to conference, which is only two short weeks away, like, hey, once it comes, it flies by just like that. And so, before we know it, we'll be outdoors, and then we have 2 or 3 weeks, and then we have outdoor conference. And it's like, once the ball starts rolling, it rolls pretty fast. And so I just try to keep the team aware of that, and just use it as an opportunity to get good work in. Because unfortunately, I didn't start practicing until probably around November, which is a little later than I would have preferred. And so, kind of we were already behind the 8 ball already, and so I kind of used this break in between meets to kind of get a little more in front of the 8 ball and get them ready to go.
Yeah, so next weekend we have the UW Platteville invite that's coming up here on Valentine's Day, just 2 short days away. Yeah. What are your thoughts heading into that competition? You were talking about it earlier this week, but tell me just what's the goal for a tournament like this right before conference?
Yeah, so I'd say I'm really excited. I'd never got to compete at any of the Wisconsin schools. And, as far as Division III track is concerned, that's the cream of the crop. Yeah. That's the best of the best. And so I'm excited, first off, to just go and see the facility and get to experience that. But then from a team standpoint, I'm like, for my sprinters specifically, the athletes I work with the most, I'm kind of just using it as just a feel-good time. Like, hey, we had the race last Saturday at Carthage where I wanted you guys to run these races. I wanted to get good reps in, get good times down. And now this race, since it's before conference, I just want to get them feeling good. Like, hey, put you in a 400, get you feeling good about it, and maybe not run the 4x4 this week, or run the 2 and the 4, get your time down for that, build some confidence, because we haven't had a lot of meets to build confidence. And we can run all the treadmill workouts and all the workouts in the Oxygen that we want, but
you could simulate it as much as you want, but it's not the real thing.
Yeah, it's nothing like the real thing. And so it's kind of another trial run. That's what my coaches at Greenville always said, like, these indoor meets leading up to conference or these even outdoor meets leading up to conference are kind of just trial runs. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, like with track, you're peaking for a very specific window, and that window is that week of conference. And so, like, not to say that these regular season meets don't matter, because they do.
Yeah.
They matter a whole lot as far as getting you ready for conference, getting you ready to be at your absolute peak when it matters the most.
Yeah, UW Platteville. That's. I know it's going to be really fun for you going up there. Tell me, I have Mariah Williams on tomorrow. And specifically, I've talked to a couple of your athletes before about just the difference competing inside and outside. Tell me a little bit about it. I only ran track once in my life. That was back in 8th grade. Had a good time doing it.
There you go.
But there's not a lot of indoor tracks out in Oregon because we don't really need it for the weather that we have.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the difference running inside, smaller track, to running outside in the open air?
Oh man, it really is like night and day, and nobody can ever really understand it until they've done it, or at least they've coached it, or they've seen it. I mean, the indoor track's only 200 meters long, and so those turns are tight. You know, it's inside. Everyone's in a pretty small area, so it's stuffy, it's hot, it's kind of a little hard to breathe. You know, me and my teammates used to call it the track hack. When you start coughing, you start like there's always just a bug in your throat permanently. But yeah, and then when you get outside, it's almost like training wheels are off, and it's just a weight's lifted off your shoulders. You can just fly around the track. I mean, specifically as a 400 guy, the biggest difference is going from 2 laps to 1 lap. It's 2 laps indoors, 1 lap outdoors, and so it really does just change the entire way you run your race. And
and people don't realize it because it's the same distance, quote unquote, but the way that you get to that distance is so different.
It's completely different. Yeah, and it is really interesting. And you know, I love indoors, but outdoors is where where the magic happens, and that's what I'm most excited for. So yeah, it is very different, but we're treating this indoor season as just, hey, we're playing with house money. Like, we're just having fun, and we're just waiting to see what happens at conference for sure.
And how excited are you for conference? Tell me a little bit. Is there, over these last two events that you guys have went to, is there anybody that specifically that you've been really proud of that has grown since you guys started practice?
Man, I mean, specifically, when you talk about growth, just as far as where he started, I mean, Marquavion Young is someone who I'm very proud of. I mean, he'd never done a sport before he came here to Rockford to run track, and like I tell him pretty much every day, like, hey, when 3 months ago when I first got you, like, you were moving like a completely different athlete, and now you're moving athletically, you're moving well, and you're doing the drills perfectly, and yeah, so I'm really excited to see what he can do, because I think he's just such a raw athlete that we just gotta get him going. But then as far as everyone, like, I'm just really proud of the way everyone has kind of taken on the challenge of, hey, we know we're not working with a lot. We know that, hey, our back's against the wall, but let's see what happens. Yeah, so I'm really just excited to see what everyone does at conference. Conference is a time when, I've seen a lot of crazy things happen. I've seen people going in ranked, 12th get top 3. I've seen people ranked in the top 3 get 12th. Like, it really is anything. I mean,
all the rankings just fly out the window. You
100%.
really got to go out there and put it down on the track.
100%.
Perform a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Last thing about just individually, is there anybody that maybe hasn't seen the numbers out there, but that's ready to pop and has really improved just in the weight room or in practice?
I mean, the strides we've made in the weight room are really impressive for everybody across the board. I'd say, you said you have Mariah Williams on later. I'm just waiting to see what she can drop a pretty nasty time in the 200, and I'm waiting to see whether that's at Platteville, whether that's at conference. I know it's going to happen at some point. There's no doubt in my mind. And then
and she's already a record breaker.
Yeah, she's already a record breaker.
Broke the record. I broke it in the triple jump, tied it in the long jump.
Yep.
Yes. So already somebody who's had success.
Yeah, but I think we're just ready to go. We're just kind of like, the whole team has kind of been like some caged animals. Just let me loose, let me loose on this track. Let me see what happens. And so whether that's the sprinters, the distance, the throwers, the jumpers, like, we're all just ready to go. And like the more meets we get, the better. And so as far as Platteville is concerned, I think everybody's going to drop some pretty impressive times, and then we get a week off to kind of tune the bodies back up and rest, and then we got conference, which is gonna be fun for sure.
I'm excited to see the times, the results. I'm really excited for you guys to get to outdoor, and I think you used the perfect word, getting from indoor to out there. It's you get out there and you can fly, right? You just the weight comes
100%.
off your shoulders, the open air.
100%.
You just it's something about it. You just move faster when you're outdoors.
100%.
Absolutely. Last question I have for you, Carter. Just what's your favorite part of the job?
I'd say my favorite part of the job is kind of just what we were talking about. People getting to see people do things that they never thought they could do. That was kind of my story as a track athlete. In high school, I definitely wasn't the best. I wasn't anything special. I probably never deserved to run college track, but then because I was a Greenville kid, they gave me a shot, and through good coaching, through good encouragement, and some good, self-confidence building, I was able to turn myself into an okay athlete. And I'm just, yeah, that's kind of my favorite part too, is just getting to see people do things they never thought they could do, and that look on their face when they break 60 in the 400 for the first time, they break 2 in the 800, they run a sub 5 mile for the first time. Like, it's just something that they never thought they could do, and hey, you did it. And I think that track, that's why I love track, that's why I love sports so much, is it gives you a goal, it disciplines you to achieve that goal, and then you achieve it, and I think you're prepared for anything. I think, being someone who played sports his whole life, I feel like sports prepared me for everything, and that's kind of what I want to do. The most influential people in my life have been my coaches, and I kind of want to, the cliche, I just want to give back. I just want to give back to those who gave to me as well.
I think you have the exact right way to think about it. You're right. I mean, just seeing people reach milestones that they never thought they could reach. It is what makes sports great, and that's why we love it. Carter, I appreciate you coming on, chatting with me for, 20, 25 minutes, whatever we got in. We got a lot of it in. Carter, this is the last time you're going to have a mic in front of your face for a while. Anything that you want to put out there?
I just want to say to any of my athletes, listening to it, whether they're track, whether they're cross-country, distance, throwers, jumpers, sprinters, no matter what you're doing, I believe in you. We're going to do some great things this season, and go Regents.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carter. I appreciate you coming on. That's going to do it, everybody. Rock Talk, episode 23. Your host, Cole Weber, signing off here on this Thursday.